Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Udmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahigana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahikane Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, okay. Hare Krishna. So we are into the second week of Damodar Mass. I hope everyone is taking full benefit, or at least as much as possible. Anything done in Damodar Mass for the pleasure of the Lord is very, very beautiful. And this is also a part of the same program. We are reading Lord's word and trying to understand a little bit more about the mind of Krishna, what he expects us. Okay, so 5:20, I think this is where we started last week. Can I request Nidhi Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So, do I read the shloka, Prabhu?
No, Mataji, only translation.
Only translation.
Good points.
A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God is already situated in transcendence. Prabhu, I was not there in last class, so I
Okay. No problem, Mataji, no problem.
I can do it.
Okay, yeah. Prabhu, yeah. Rasanan, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Mataji already read the translation.
Yes, yes.
So this is coming under a section called Vision of the Jnani or Paramatma Vadi. So from verses number 17 to 26 talks about this. So this section deals with what is. I think that's one. This section deals with one who is fixed in the knowledge of relationship between the living entities, material nature, and the super soul. So once we take those who are taking shelter of the supreme soul, super soul becomes enlightened and they attain liberation. So this section is talking about that. So it's focusing on, like for 5:17 talked about the focus on the supreme person for liberation. 5:18 talked about equal vision, the famous verse of Vidya Vinaya Vartante. And 5:19 talks about, one who is reaching a Brahman platform. So those people who are having an equal vision, they conquer the birth and death. So flawless, they are flawless, nirdosham, and they are situated in Brahman. So as a continuation to this verse number 5:20 talks about symptoms of those people who are in a self-realized platform. So there are some symptoms told in verse number 21, 20 and 21. Around 6 symptoms are told in this verse. So yeah, as Prabhu, you were mentioning last time, this prahas means happy. Prahashyat means being very happy. And priyam means pleasant. And prapya means referring to those who are receiving or achieving this happiness. So here the first symptom is said that if a person who is in a self-realized soul, he doesn't have to rejoice for anything. He doesn't enjoy for anything which is pleasant. And the next line talks about no vijit prapta chapriyam. So just the opposite. If something is very unpleasant, apriyam, which is unpleasant things are there, he is not even agitated because of that. So the second symptom is that is he doesn't lament for anything which is unpleasant. So the first is he doesn't rejoice for anything pleasant. Second is he does not lament anything which is unpleasant. So such a person is said to be a Shrita Buddhi. So he is actually in a fixed intelligence. So this is the definition. The first two things are the definition for such a person, and he is also situated in Brahman. So the fourth symptoms of this is asammoda. So he is unbewildered in that. So like as you also mentioned, Prabhupada mentions Muda is full, and this is asammoda is he is not bewildered. Then the next characteristic is talking about Brahmavit. So Vit means one who is a knower of something. So here he is a knower of Brahman. So Brahman, nothing but the signs of God or the Supreme. So one who knows the Supreme perfectly. And the last symptoms identified is Brahmani Sita. So he is situated in transcendence. So these are the 6 symptoms of a person mentioned in this verse. Such a person who is in a Brahma Bhutan.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you.
You have literally put everything together. You put the connection, you told about the section and the 6 characteristics, and each and every characteristic is very nicely explained. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Prabhuji is studying hard at home. Nice. We should all do that. Once we understand like that, then it retains in our mind, and then we can explain to others as well. And as your Guru Maharaj said, first we'll hear some knowledge, then we'll meditate on the knowledge, and then we'll be able to apply the knowledge. So that's the third stage application. So very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Next one, 521. Maybe Vijay Gopi Mataji, if you were there last class.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll try, Prabhu.
No problem. Prabhuji is next to you, so it will happen.
So, translation. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. So here the 2 words is like the main point is how does he feel inside in his heart. It's not the external happiness, it's how does he feel inside. He feels unlimited happiness. The 2 words here is asakta, like asakta and asakta. Asakta is like attached and, asakta is attached and asakta is unattached. So he's not attached to any sense pleasure. And so here there are 2 characteristics given. He is not attached to material sense pleasure, and he is always in trance. So by doing this, he is always enjoying the unlimited happiness. And also you were quoting about Yamunacharya, like who says that I will get the distaste if I just think about the sex pleasure. So that is what I understood. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You have explained just nicely. The word which you picked, Mataji, asakta, which is attached to vahya sparsha. So already you said in English. So in Sanskrit, we can say vahya means external, sparsh means contact. So whatever comes in contact with our external senses, like eyes also gets in contact with, say, nice picture. And the picture may be of a movie star or Krishna, depends on the person who likes it or dislikes it. So that's also a sort of contact. Our ears come in contact with sort of music. Our nose comes in contact with the smell of pizza or pasta or whatnot. Huh? So they're all sparsh. So this person is asakta, unattached to all these external exchanges of the senses. He's unattached. So where his attachment lies? Inside. He goes inside. Where he goes? Vindati. Vindati means enjoys. Atmani means inside. He goes inwards and enjoys within. Huh? And that we all have a little glimpse, at least. Inside enjoyment lasts much longer, is much more satisfactory. When we meditate on a katha or kirtan or some topic of a class, we feel such a great satisfaction. So Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. So Brahma Yoga refers to what? I'm just reading these Sanskrit words. You have already explained it. So Brahma Yoga is?
Connection. Is it connection, bro?
Connection with Brahma, huh? And Brahma here refers to the Supreme. So he is connected with Brahma. Yuktatma, he's well connected with the Brahma. So it's not, so we are currently connected with outside world. We have this, morning news, midday news, evening news, night news. We want to be connected with the world all the time. Huh? We have to have all the information in our head. But this person is not like that. He's Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. He's connected with the spiritual world. I remember one example, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, she was publishing this magazine every fortnight, The Harmonist. And one politician went to Maharaj and he said, why are you publishing, so many magazines? And Maharaj said, we only publish once in a fortnight. And he said, how much news do you have to publish? And Maharaj said, there is so much going on in the spiritual world. We can publish a magazine every single second, if we could. Now we can't. That's another thing. But if we could, Maharaj said, we could publish a magazine every single second. There's so much going on in the spiritual world. But people just have no knowledge. Even if they go to temple or mosque or wherever, they just fold the hand and then they come out. That's it. And they call themselves religious person. So this person is Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. He is not cricket Yuktatma or movie Yuktatma or something like that. He's Brahma Yoga. This is much higher version, much higher. So he's living in the world, but he's Brahma Yoga. He's always connected with Supreme. And then what happens? What's the result? The Sukham Akshayam. So we all want unlimited happiness. Huh? No one wants limited happiness in every field. We want unlimited happiness. So Krishna is giving the key. If you are connected with Krishna or Brahma here, then you will feel unlimited happiness. Huh? So if you really, and we are reading this Damodar Ashtak every day. So what's the second verse of Damodar Ashtak? Everyone would know. Iti Drakso Leela Bhir Ananda Kunde. Huh? So Ananda Kunda. So Krishna is saying the translation, devotee who has done translation says, Krishna is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. Huh? So we all want to drown in pools of ecstasy, but where we are drowning right now, huh? In the puddle of this rubbish. We are surrounded by our Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar. Actually, we are drowning right now, most of the time, in these anarthas, But we want to drown where? In the pools of ecstasy. So what we have to do? Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. So the more you are connected with the Lord, more you are connected with the spiritual master and the instruction of Vaishnavas, that much you are satisfied, that much you are happy. And if you are disconnected with Lord, Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas, if you are disconnected with Hari, Guru and Vaishnava, what will happen? You will be frustrated sooner or later. Chaitanya Prabhu says very nicely, the best you get in this world is frustration, the best. Now, when you are frustrated, you should not feel, oh my God, things are not working as I desire, as I planned. No, actually, that's the best. And he said, what's the worst you get in this material world? Devastation. So if you are frustrated with yourself, with your neighbors, with your colleagues, actually you're in a very good situation. Don't get disheartened. Don't get discouraged. You are in a good situation because that's what the material world provides. There's nothing else to provide here, to be provided here. And the worst is devastation. You completely get devastated, which may actually be impetus to become a devotee sometimes, if not all the time. So Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. So that word is very, very nice, very nice. So the more we are connected with Krishna, the more we feel Sukha, Akshayam. And if you are constantly connected, Sukham, Akshayam, Asante, that means you're not hankering anymore for external sense pleasures at all, which usually people are after. Okay, and this verse of Yamunacharya is also very important. 522, one of the most famous verses. Who will do this one? This is very, very famous. Sonia Mataji is willing to do that one. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. So in this one, Prabhuji, they are mentioning that a wise man does not enjoy material senses and the participation in the material activities because he is intelligent. He knows that the transcendental activities and serving the Lord has a higher taste, and that is unlimited, and it doesn't have a beginning and an end. So all the material sense enjoyments are temporary, and it just gives happiness for a little bit of time. So the real transcendentalist and the wise man participates in the Lord's service, which will give him more happiness, and it elevates him to the spiritual abode as well. So that's what it is.
Maybe we can also pick up some Sanskrit words, as I always like. It's just gets in touch with the verse more. So we can start some yehi sansparsha bhoga. So sansparsha refers to
contact with the material.
Sparsha, sansparsha, we are referring the last. Bhoga.
Bhoga is something.
Bhoga ke vishay, the things which we feel will give us enjoyment. So whether it's eating enjoyment or seeing enjoyment, listening enjoyment, sleeping enjoyment, nice gada, whatever. So bhoga, all these are bhoga. And what we offer to Lord is also bhoga. Last week we discussed about bhoga and nevedya.
Yes.
So yehi sansparsha, he refers to?
The one
He. No, that is sa. Sa is
certainly.
Certainly. So he or eva. Hare Nam, eva kevalam. Eva refers to certainly. He refers to certainly. So ye refers to that person. We were talking the person. Ye, sa, they, those sort of refers to the person. So ye hi sansparsha bhoga. So if you enjoy these external sense pleasures, what happens? Dukha yonai evate. So what happens, Mataji?
So then dukkha will come. Yonaya, the sources of from where it is coming, and certainly dukkha will come.
So what is the word eva? Eva is certainly.
Eva is certainly.
Te is that person. So the person who has enjoyed some sort of sense gratification, what will be the result? Certainly. Certainly. There is no doubt. There's no doubt. Dukkha yonaya evate. Viraj Prabhu once in a class was saying, if you have a desire, one body is waiting for you. If you have a desire, and imagine how many desires we have. Obviously talking about material desire here. So if you have some material desire, I wish I could become a rich person. I wish I could look so beautiful. I wish I could be so intelligent. Every single desire will be fulfilled in due course of time with a body. So imagine how many bodies we're going to get. Because this is what our desires are not purified. And Krishna says, you want to fulfill the desire. The boy says, I want to play soccer, I want to play hockey, I want to play cricket, I want to play bat ball, this, that. And Papa says, no problem. I have all sorts of arrangements done for you. Till the time you're tired, what do they call? Shop till you drop. So you can shop in the material world, no problem. When you drop, Papa, I want to go home now. Okay, beta, I'm waiting. I'm waiting in the car for you. Krishna is always in that mode, it's very compassionate, very kind, very patient. But what's happening with the sons and daughters? Dukkha yona. Yona refers to they will not only get dukkha, they will get dukkha yoni. So any yoni in this material world, whether it's a Brahma yoni or a little cheepi yoni, little ant yoni, they are filled with dukkha. Brahma bhurna loka punar avartino Arjun. From the topmost planet in the Brahma loka to the downmost planet, everything is filled with punar avartin. You have to come back again and again. So dukkha yona. So you'll not just get the dukkha. Dukkha is like a little piece of dukkha. You got a little cut in your hand, put a bandage, okay. Dukkha yona, you'll enter into a species which is filled with dukkha. And why? Adi antaha.
Adi is the beginning and antaha is the end.
Yeah, Kaunteya obviously is Arjun. Na teshu Teshu again refers to te, ye, teshu. Buddha refers to Buddhiman.
Buddha. Yeah, you said Buddha and Buddhu.
Buddhu. So we are mostly what we are, Buddhiman or Buddhu? I am Buddhu. We usually act in a Buddhu way. Buddhu means foolish way, usually, not all the time. Ramate, what does Ramate mean? Radha Raman. Nidhi Mataji has a nice picture of Radha Raman on her altar, very beautiful. What does Raman mean?
Enjoying or taking pleasure.
Enjoying, that's right. Enjoying, one who enjoys in, say, Srimati Radharani, or he gives joy to Srimati Radharani. That is Radha Raman, for example. We are also Raman. We are cricket Raman, Paisa Raman, family Raman, so many Ramanas. We are also Raman as well. Krishna is also Raman, but Krishna is going around Srimati Radharani. And where we are going around? This world. This parivar, fame Raman. We all want to become very famous, very rich, very beautiful, and all that. So, Nateshuram, the Buddhiman will not go around these things because they have a beginning, they have a cricket will start and cricket will end. I heard in a program, devotees didn't come because there's a cricket going on. I didn't know about it. Later on, I came down like, oh, thank you. Nateshuram te Buddha. So it's very important one. And Prabhupada writes from this Padma Purana, the famous Ramante Yogino Ante Satyanande Chitatmani Iti Rama Padaneshu Param Brahma Abhidiyate. So the Buddhiman Purush, where they are going, Iti Ram Padaneshu, they go to Sri Ram. They go to Sri Ram. And Maharaj said, Ram means Aram. If you are with Ram, you are completely at ease. Otherwise, you are not at ease. You may feel you are at ease in the material world with material things. You are not at ease. You are not at ease. Ram will only come, Aram will only come with Lord Ram or Krishna. It cannot be bought outside. It just doesn't exist. Ram will give you pleasure. Okay. And also this famous verse from 551, Prabhupada has quoted it many times in his lecture. Nayam deho dev bhajam riloke. So, kashtam kaman arate vidbhujam. Vidbhujam means the stool worm. Stool worm is enjoying a pleasure and you're also enjoying the same pleasure. So what's the difference? This deha is not nriloke. Nriloke refers to the human form of life, is not meant for enjoying the pleasure which are enjoyed by little insects and worms. It's not meant for that purpose. What we should do? Tapo divyam. What is the difference between divya and Divya tapa and tapa? What's the difference? Austerity and divya austerity. So it says the word tapo divyam. We should do austerity. So one is austerity. One is divya tapa. What does divya tapa mean?
Eternal. Divya means eternal.
Eternal. So how does it the austerity become eternal austerity? You're right, Mataji. Just go a little more. So tapa, austerity, like many people in India fast for Friday, Santoshi Ma, Ganeshji, this and that, they are doing austerity as well. Huh? In Navratra, they say Ma Durga, Ma Durga, Ma Durga. And after Navratra, they say La Murga, La Murga, La Murga. So for Navratra, they do a lot of austerity. Huh? And they will fast from all these things. But as soon as Navratra finishes, they will again start back to pavilion. Huh? So that sort of austerity is not recommended. As Mother said, it should be eternal austerity. And eternal austerity means austerity done for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God.
Like Deeptan in this Kartik month.
Like Kartik month.
The Kartik month is also kind of
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So anything done for the Lord's pleasure, that is tapa divya. Huh? Otherwise, austerity done in the material world, like one example comes to my mind. I haven't seen it physically, but in movies, yes. Some Netaji is doing Bhuk Hartal. They go on a hunger strike. Why are they going on hunger strike? They want others to convince with their proposal, whatever. They want to become the chief minister or prime minister, or they want some labor union to get a pay rise or something like that. Huh? They go on Bhuk Hartal. So that's an austerity, yes or no? They are doing austerity. Huh?
So they're doing it for themselves, and if they're doing it for the Lord, then it is divya tapam.
That's exactly.
So for yourself, for the result, for your own benefit, then it is tapam.
Yeah. So thank you. So we got the point. So we should aspire to do divya tapa, not just tapa. Many people doing tapa. I think Lal Govind Prabhu was saying In Bombay, if anyone has lived in Bombay and traveled in local trains, in the morning, you go to catch a train, local train, 6 a.m. The train is completely full. So people are completely on the way to their work at 6 o'clock, and you come back at 11 o'clock, the trains are still filled. They're working like 14, 16 hours a day without good food or without good facility, and then they come home and they sleep and then they go back again. So are they not doing austerity? They're all doing very a lot of austerity, but that austerity cannot be called as Divya Tapa. So Niloke, for humans, we are supposed to do Divya Tapa, Tapa which satisfies the Supreme Lord or his representative. Okay, let's move forward. 523. I see Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna. I'm not sure whether you were there last week.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, I wasn't there.
Okay, no worries, Mataji. Vinay Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Oh, I think you're traveling. So maybe, and
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay, Prabhu. No problem. Prasanatna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'll read the translation. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the forces of desire and anger, he will be well situated and is happy in this world. Okay, so here you said the word is show them, like one who tolerates the urges of the previous verse, which says, let's see, is able to control. If he's able to control those urges, like urge to speak, the urge of the mind and your tongue and belly, then he'll be able to rejoice happiness within. And this should be done. It has to be done throughout the life. That's what he told. So, like if you can do that, then you can enjoy happiness within.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then we can just pick up some Sanskrit. Shaknoti. Shaknoti refers to is
Shaknoti is able to. Yeah.
So iha refers to always whenever you see this word iha in this world.
In this world, yeah.
Read this again and again, and Prabhupada said iha eva refers to in the present body. Yes, sodom, as you Prabhuji said, tolerate. So if you are able to tolerate, so like previous verse, the response can be, but I'm not able to tolerate. But he's saying you have to tolerate. If you're not able to tolerate, sorry, it says till what time you have to tolerate. So sodom, tolerate till what time? Prak sharir vimokshana. Sharir vimokshana means leaving of the body. An example I think we discussed, till what time your nails and hair will grow, if you have hair, not me. So till what time? Till the time you have the body. You have to cut the hair and cut the nails and do all the basic necessities for the body. It's just the nature of the body. So it says external nature of the body. What's the internal nature of the body? Kam, krodha, udbhavam, vegam. So we will get lust and anger, udbhava, arising from Kam and Krodha. The Vega means urge. So the urge will come of lust. Lust here means enjoying tendency, and Krodha means unfulfilled desires. So that Vega will come in our heart. Till what time it will come in our heart? Till you are
till the body is there.
Till the body is there. And then what will happen? The Krodha and Kama will go. No, you get another body. And then what happens?
As long as we have desire, we can continue.
So till the time you're purified, you keep getting the bodies, and you have to just tolerate. There's no other shortcut to it. Kam, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vega, Sa Yukta. So if you can do that much, Sa Yukta. So Yukta is again, you are attached with that. Attached with what? You're able to tolerate. You have the power to tolerate your Kama and Krodha. So what will be the result? Sa Sukhi Naraha. That person is a Sukhi, a happy person. Okay, last one. Who will do the last one? Raghavi Mataji, were you there last week? No, okay. Jai Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Were you there last week, Prabhu?
I wasn't there, but if you want, I can try.
Okay, maybe I can ask Mohit Prabhu first. If he was there, I'm not sure. Hare Krishna Mohit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll do 24, Prabhu. Okay, let me. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attained the Supreme. So Prabhu, there's a link between the 5.3 and 5.24. In 5.3, we discuss that if one should potentially tolerate the urges of material senses and the desire of anger before giving the present body, he become realized. And in this one, the pleasure of spiritual realization is we're discussing on the pleasure of spiritual realization. One of, if someone is realized with the spiritual, one realize the pleasure of spiritual realization, they give up the other taste. And in this, we talk about the Brahma Bhuta stage, the liberated platform, Brahma Bhuta Dikachanti. Once one become being self-realized, he attained the my nose. He attained the liberation. So let me try with the word by word proof.
This Antah Sukha is pretty close to Hindi.
I just make my notes, but not in front of my notebook. So
okay, no problem, Prabhuji, no problem. So I'll just read quickly, Prabhu. Anta Sukha. So it's very clear. Bhitari Sukha. Huh? Yeah. So a joy which is within. Antah Arama. So we're talking about Ram and Aram. So he feels again rested within. Tatha Antar Jyotihi. So Antar Jyoti, Prabhupada writes, says aiming within. So he's not aiming outside. So generally, we are currently, most of the time, is aiming outside for our satisfaction, for our happiness, for our rest. We are always aiming outside, but this person is Anta, Anta, Anta. 3 times it's used. So Evayaha, so who does that? Sa yogi. He is a yogi. He is well connected. Brahma Nirvanam. What does Nirvana word mean? We discussed it last week. Anyone?
Liberation.
Liberation, yes. And what else? Can we break this word, Nirvana?
You said barn or something like,
yes.
Like arrow.
Thank you. So arrow. When arrow comes, it hurts. And who's throwing this arrow for us at the moment? This word is also known in Sanskrit. It's called Van.
Yeah, material energy.
Material energy. Maya Devi is throwing us arrows. And who is that Maya Devi? Durga Ji is poking us with the 3-spiked trishul, with the trident. Huh? And what is she saying? Anyone remembers? Go back to Krishna, go back to Krishna, go back to Krishna. She's pinching us, not because she's enemy of us. She's a devotee, but she's sort of prompting us, inspiring us in a difficult way sometimes. Go back to Krishna. There is no rest here. Go back to Krishna. Go back to Krishna. All the dukkha she is giving, she's feeling good about it. But we are the naughty kids. Sometimes, mother and father have to do some, little punishment for the welfare of the child. Huh? So it's exactly like that. So Durga Devi is a great devotee of the Lord. But that's her duty. To all the naughty kids, sometimes you go to a home program, some Mataji is looking after all the kids, and after the program, she'll say, it's too hard to look after the kids. It's so easy to sit in the adult class. All these naughty kids, they're shouting, yelling, they're tearing. Sometimes they make paints on the wall, and the host will be complaining afterwards. Huh? Not easy to look after naughty kids. If the kids are nice, yes, you can, be nicely around them. So we are like those naughty kids. Huh? So Durga Devi has this trident and saying, go back in that room, go back in the other room, don't just stay here in the material world. So nirvana refers to after this barn, so after this material world, whatever the situation comes, which is Brahma situation, which is transcendental situation. Huh? So it's called Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam. He is situated in Brahma, not in Barn, not in the material world. Huh? Brahma Bhuta, we'll read this in 15th chapter. Brahma Bhuta Adigachati, and he will achieve Brahman, which is the supreme, because he's already out of the Barn, out of the material existence. So Prabhupada writes, one whose happiness is within, one who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Okay, so let's start today's verse 525. So we'll start from those devotees who are not here. Nidhi Mataji, would you like to start?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
It's 26 or 25th.
25 Mataji.
25. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam
Labhante Brahma Nirvanam
Rashaya Kshina Kalmasha
Rishayaha China Kalmashaha
Chinnadavaidha Yatatmana
Chinnadvaidhayatatmanaha
Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha.
Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha.
Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme.
Thank you, Mataji. So just connecting to 524. So one who is aiming within, that's what 524 was saying. Within, within, within. So one who are aiming within, Labhante Brahma Nirvana. So sort of re-emphasizing the same thing which they have explained in the previous verse. Labhante, they will achieve. What they will achieve? Brahma Nirvanam. They will achieve the transcendental situation. Rishya, Rishya refers to those person, Rishi. Huh? So those are Rishis. Prabhupada says Rishi, those are active within. So this should be connected back with the 524. They are the Rishi. And what do they have? Sheen Kalmasha. So Kalmasha refers to the contamination. Huh? So our heart at the moment has a lot of Kalmasha, a lot of contamination, a lot of anarthas are sitting in our heart. But these Rishya, these people who are aiming within, they are Sheen Kalmasha. Sheen refers to Chala gaya hai. It's gone. All the contaminations are gone from their heart. What else has happened with them? Chinna Dvaida. Dvaida refers to dualities of the material world. Anyone knows the 6 dualities of the material world? Okay, tell me 4, tell me 2.
Born, stays for some time. Is that the one, Prabhu?
No. Summer and winter.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yep.
Dukha.
Man Apman.
Sukha, Dukha, Man, Apman, and
Lavani.
Shita, Ushna. Shita, Ushna.
Heat and cold.
Shitanush.
Thank you. So Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha, and Man, Apman. So these are the called 6 dualities. So most of the time we are within these dualities. Most of the time, when the Shita comes, when the heavy rain comes, we are all complaining about the rain. When the summer comes, oh, it's 40 degrees in Sydney. How come Sydney is so hot? We're all always complaining. Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha. Any types of Sukha we receive, we become very joyful within our heart. We get some extra bonus reward points, some free flights from Sydney to Melbourne or something like that. We become very happy. Or Dukha, we get a car fine, $340. All those things. So Sukha, Dukha, Man, Apman, that's very important. Someone praises us, we feel really, yes, we are like that person. Apman, it hurts a lot. So this Rishi, this person who is aiming within, Chinna Dvaita, he has torn apart. Chinna means far diya hai, Chinna Bhinna. He has torn apart all these dualities. That basically means he has come above all these dualities. So he is not impacted by the dualities. Yat Atmanaha. So Atmana refers to here again within. Yat is always engaged within. And the last thing is very important. This was Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. So Rataha refers to engaged. So where he is engaged? Sarva Bhut Hite. Hit means in the welfare activity. Welfare activity of whom? Bhuta. Bhuta means jivas. And how many bhutas welfare activities is involved? Sarva, of all the bhutas. So this is a very important word. So sometimes it's said a spiritualist or transcendentalist, brahmachari or sannyasi, generally society thinks they are very self-centered people. They're just working for themselves. What are you doing for the society? But Krishna writes very clearly, the person who are aiming within, they are sarvabhutite rataha. So it's not about karma yogi, jnana yogi, or ashtanga yogi. Is saying actually for everyone. If you are aiming within, if you are enjoying within, if your aim is not the material world, if your aim is the spiritual world, the characteristic of you would be sarva bhut hite rataha. You will be engaged in the welfare of all the living entities. So if you feel any enmity or hatred or extra attraction for a living entity, which is not beneficial for them, actually you are not a rishi as per this verse. So Prabhupada says here, he is always busy working for the welfare of all living beings. So this is a very, very important point. So if we are a yogi, sort of a yogi which is just worried about his own liberation, then actually you don't fit in this particular verse perfectly. So you are aiming for yourself, but you have to be friends with all the living entity. You have to be working for their welfare. And it says, unless you are purified, you cannot do welfare activities nicely. A simple example, if you are dirty, can you make others clean? You are dirty, your hands are dirty, and you say, Prabhu, I'm going to clean the wall. With the dirty hand, if I clean the wall, what will happen to the wall? Wall will become more dirty. Huh? So first, what I have to do, I have to go and wash my hand. Then only I can be involved in a cleaning seva, isn't it? So if my hands are dirty, I cannot clean the other objects. So similarly, if my heart is dirty, I cannot help others. So externally, I can do some welfare activities of food distribution or some medicine distribution, giving some blankets to poor people and all those things, which is nice on a bodily level. But is it going to clean their heart? No. And how I am going to clean their heart if my heart is not clean? Huh? So first I have to clean up my heart and understand this is a jiva, as Prabhupada said many times. You can give a plate of food to someone, but that will only resolve the problem for 3 or 4 hours. After 4 hours, he'll be hungry again. Huh? So what you can do, the real help will be to make him understand his real position in relation to Krishna. And then once he understands that relationship, then if he can work on it, then he will never be hungry again because he is well situated with Krishna. So body will be hungry, obviously, but his heart will not be hungry. And how he will understand that will depend on his consciousness. But we can help the jivas in the best way by relating them back to Krishna. So, and how we can do that? First, we have to connect ourselves with Krishna. We have to purify our heart. If our heart is overpowered by lust, greed, anger, envy, and all these anarthas, how can we give others a peace and joy situation? That's why we see many sannyasis. I'm remembering, say, His Holiness Indradum Maharaj. He's going around the world, obviously, preaching Krishna consciousness, but at the same time, he's involved in so many sort of welfare activities which society call welfare activities. He's also involved that, and with that activities, when there's an earthquake, Maharaj goes with his whole team and he distributes foods and medicine. He goes with Red Cross. Radhanath Maharaj also doing so many projects, distribution of prasadam in the schools for the kids. So many projects Maharaj, many sannyasis are running like that, which seems to be the welfare activity on a bodily basis, but they not only helping the body, obviously they're helping the soul as well. So these are the pure souls, and then they are able to help the other souls in a very nice manner. And this definition here, Sarbhuti Terata, they are constantly engaged, they're constantly thinking. If they're not working on a physical level, they're always working on the mental level. I heard one statement from some person in a class. He says, Prabhupada was constantly speaking about Krishna to those who came to see Prabhupada during the daytime. So many guests will come to meet Prabhupada, and Prabhupada will give Krishna to them by speaking about Krishna to them. And in the night, he spoke to those who did not come to Prabhupada to discuss about Krishna. How? By writing books. So whole night, practically whole night, Prabhupada was writing books, so that these books can go to those people who have not come to temple or are not coming to see a sadhu like Prabhupada. So whole day he was speaking to people who came to him to discuss about Krishna, and whole night he was speaking to the people who did not come to him. Jagannath Rath Yatra, for example, Jagannath goes out for those people primarily who never have an opportunity to come to Krishna or who are not interested in coming to Krishna. Jagannath personally said, you don't have time. So father says to kid, you don't have time for me. I have time for you. So I will come for you. And he says, Rathe tu vamanam dastva punarjanma na vidyate. One who sees Vaman refers to Lord Jagannath here. On the Ratha, on the chariot, will never take birth again in the material world. Rathe tu Vamanam drashta punarjanma na vidyate. So Lord is so kind. These sadhus are so kind. These sannyasis, these devotees are so kind. They're not going for their own hita. They are going for parhita. They are always going for the welfare of others, which may look sometime on a bodily level, but they are working on a soul level, and that's how they are doing the real welfare activities. And Prabhupada said the real welfare activity is connect a person back with his own father Krishna. That's Sarvbhutite Rataha. And devotees are not self-centered. They are actually always other centers in the sense. There's a shloka in Sanskrit, can't remember the exact shloka, but it says a Vaishnava is par dukhe dukhi. If he sees a dukkha of someone else, he's dukhi, and he's par sukha sukhi. But in the material world, what happens? We becomes par dukkha sukhi. When others are in distressful situation, we become sukhi. Dekha, ab maza aa raha hai. Then we take a lot of pleasure, while others are dukhi. When others are not in a good state, and when we are dukhi, then we expect everyone else to become dukhi. But when we are sukhi, when others are dukhi, we become sukhi. But a Vaishnava is always par dukhe dukhi and par sukhe sukhi. He doesn't care about his own pleasure and pains. His own pleasure and pains, he's always with Krishna. So he's always in pleasure, he's never in pain. But when he sees others in distress, he really becomes distressful. Prabhupada was crying. Prabhupada was going in car somewhere from A to B in America somewhere. His disciple was sitting at the front seat. Prabhupada was sitting at the back seat, and it's a very nice sunny day. They were passing through a park somewhere, and children were playing. Adults were just having good time. Nice sunny day, good weather. So this disciple said to Prabhupada, "Look at this weather; it's so beautiful. People are so happy, and this and that." And Prabhupada did not speak, so he said it again. Prabhupada still did not speak, so he turned around, and then he saw Prabhupada was crying in the car. So when he saw these so-called Sukhi people, he was crying. And he said, these people are in so much illusion. There is so much illusion. So when we got in a sunny day, very nice, we are all happy. Our bodies relatively have less pain today. We become happy. Let's go out. But Prabhupada, a complete pure devotee of Krishna, he's crying on that situation, because if you are in pain, you may take shelter of Krishna. But when you are Sukhi, so-called Sukhi, you will not take shelter of Krishna. So Prabhupada said, how much illusion they are in. And he was literally crying tears in the back seat of the car. So this is called Sarvbhutite Rataha. So unless we are on that platform, we cannot call ourselves a Rishi. We cannot call ourselves Rishi because we have so much kalmash in our heart. Okay, 526. Who hasn't done as yet? Jai Prakash Prabhu is ready.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
No. Kama Krodha Vimuktatmanam
Kama Krodha Vimuktanam
Yatinam Yatachetasam
Yatinam Yatachetasam
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam
Vartate Viditatmanam.
Vartate Viditatmanam.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you.
So this combination we have seen, many times in Bhagavad Gita, Kam, Krodh, and they are, Krodh is called Anuja. Anuja means younger brother of Kama. So first lust comes, and when lust is unfulfilled, what comes? When the lust is unfulfilled, Krodha, isn't it? When we see someone or something is obstructing in fulfilling our desire, we get angry at that person. Yeah, we're going somewhere in a lot of speed in the car, and some, a driver which is going very, very slow comes in front of you. What do you feel? Kahan se aa gaya? Where does he come from? Krodha comes. We are getting late in the temple Aarti, and this person is not moving. So Kam, Krodha. The Krodha is called Anuja. So if they are not purified, if the Kam is not purified, Krodha will be there. Or if Kam is successful, then we get greed, we get Lobha. So Kam, Krodha, Vimuktanam. What does Vimuktanam mean? So Mukta means We doesn't have Kam and Krodh. What does Vimukta mean? V means?
Not.
Not really. V means Vishesh. Special mukta. And what is especially liberated? This Kam and Krodh will be thoroughly out of our heart. Thoroughly out. Not just this time, I don't have any lust and anger, for example, right? But after half an hour, what will happen? I may get lot lust and anger for something, right? So it happens with all of us. Huh? We become devotee. Us in program somewhere. And I think for Sumit Prabhuji nicely said, I was just saying he's very humble. He says he's humble or he's dumble. Humble outside, dumble, dumble at home. So this is our dualistic nature. We all have it. Sorry to say, we all have it. Huh? Sometimes we are very nice, sometimes we are not so nice, and sometimes we are very big demon. So we are not Kam Krodh Vimuktanam. We are not thoroughly liberated from these anarthas. So we are liberated sometime, but this Rishi, this person which we are talking right now, situated transcendentally, he is Kam Krodh Vimuktanam. Thoroughly, there will be no lust or anger. You cannot even find one trace anytime, not even one trace. Like in in Vrindavan he has no trace, but in Sydney he has lot of. So it's not called Kam Krodh Vimuktanam. So he's thoroughly out. He has thrown all these anarthas out of this heart. Yati Nam. Yati means, without looking if you could, Yati is a famous word. Yati. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used this word a lot of time. Sannyasi. Yati means sannyasi. So another word for Yati is sannyasi. Yati also means control. So sannyasi is always controlled. He's in control. Like we are not always in ourselves control. We are the control of, again, of our anarthas. We are under the control of our anarthas. But sannyasi is always in control. He's a Goswami. He's a Goswami. So Yati, sannyasi. So Yati Nam, this person, Yat Chet Swami is constantly endeavoring for what? Abhito Brahma Nirvanam, to be situated in Brahma. Now, Brahma Nirvanam word is used again and again and again. So we have to understand very carefully. Is spiritually, transcendentally situated. Is not about leaving the body and going to some voidism, as Buddhists say. So Buddhists use this word nirvana, going to the void. We're not talking about that. We're talking about transcendental situation of the person. Body may be here. That's no problem. Abhito refers to achirena. What does achirena mean? Everyone knows this word. Achirena digachati. Chira means chirayu, lambi ayu, long life. So achirena, abhito refers to achirena, means very soon. Brahma Nirma, he will receive Brahma Nirma, situated transcendentally very, very soon. Vartate vidit atmanam, of those who are self-realized. Vidit refers to enjoyments. Atmanam, within. So they're enjoying within. So again and again, Krishna is saying you should enjoy within. Don't look enjoyment in outside objects. It doesn't exist. So normally we have a lot of hopes for our pleasures in the material world. We have hope this project will work, but then that project fails, then we have hope for another project. No. Okay, this failed, another project will work. That also fails. Then we have hope for another project, and we keep on hoping. Chaitanya Prabhu was saying, Maya keeps us hopefully frustrated. Hopefully frustrated. Why hopefully frustrated? If Maya makes us so much frustrated, then we'll not endeavor, right? But it doesn't do that. So after a lot of failures, Maya gives one drop of success. And then feel, yes, it's worth it. It's worth it. See, I've done it. I've achieved it. This material pleasure I have achieved. And then another series of failures, 9 failures, and then maybe 10th when you get little pleasure. It happens. It happens with all of us. It happens with me. So many failures come in, like, okay, I think it's not worth it. But next day you see a little hope in the material world, arranged by Maya based on our karma. Is actually, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Let me try again. Then we forget all the failures. Bhakti Thakur tells, when a child comes in the womb of a mother, talking about human womb, the child prays to Krishna. Third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone knows that. So child prays to Krishna. Bhakti Thakur says very rarely he achieves the darshan of Krishna, but every single child, human child, prays to Krishna. And what he is praying, he has written a very nice bhajan. Bhuliya Tumhare. You can search in KK songs. Bhuliya Tumhare. So in so many births I have forgotten you, and really I pray in this birth when I will come out, I will definitely do lot of bhajan of yours. Please let me out from this situation. I'll do bhajan of you. But as soon as the child comes out, what happens? We all know, huh? Kuchi 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 kuchi. Kitna pyara hai. How beautiful. Huh? How cute. He's looking so cute. Oh, in blue he looks beautiful. Huh? Look at his eyes. It's just gone on the mother. Look at his nails. It's gone on the father. We calculate all these things. This child is just and the child says, my mama loves me so much, my papa loves me so much. This is so beautiful world, and I'm so intelligent. I've got PhD degree and I have achieved this position in the world. I work for such a big company, and the same cycle starts again. So bhuliya tumhar. So I forget the Lord again and again and again. So we have to remember it very clearly for ourselves and for our near and dear ones. We are we are not the body, we are the soul, and we have to obviously on a practical basis work on a bodily platform, but we have to be mindful of this reality of life very clearly, very not in the background of in the foreground of our mind. We have a very specific purpose in this human body, and how can we share this purpose more and more for ourselves and for the others. So we should never forget our situation in the womb. Very nice bhajan. We should sing it sometime and try to discuss. So Varte Viditatmanam. Okay, let's move to the last section of this. So now this, what has happened so far, let's look back. So 70 to 26, as Rasanand Prabhu nicely explained in the beginning, this is the vision of Jnani, characteristics of Jnani or Paramatma Vadi, which we read in a series of verses. Now Krishna is sort of concluding this chapter by introducing to Dhyana Yoga and the peaceful. We'll see what these three verses are, very important verses, especially the last one. So 27 and 28, they are sort of seed of chapter 6, which we'll read after chapter 5. They are the verses which relates to Dhyana Yoga. So Krishna gives a little glimpse of Dhyana Yoga in chapter 5 itself. And then 27 and 28 will be elaborated in chapter 6. And 29 will be elaborated from chapter 7 to 12. So 29 is like the seed verse for the whole Bhakti Yoga section, which is going to come from chapter 7 onwards. So let's read these two verses for the Dhyana Yoga. Okay, who hasn't done it yet? Rajvi Mataji, would you like to do? You can do. Yeah, they're easy verses 27, 28. They're double. You got double bonus.
You try, Prabhuji. Sparshan kritva bahir bhayam.
Sparshan kritva bahir bhayam. Chakshu. Chakshu means eyes. Chakshu. Chakshu.
Chakshu chaivantare bhuva.
Chakshu chaivantare bhuvoh.
Pranapano samokritva.
Pranapano samokritva.
Nasa bhayantara charino.
Nasa bhyantara charino.
Yatendriya manobuddhir.
Yatendriya manobuddhir. Mataji, maybe you can do one verse at a time so that we can all relate it back. So maybe you can read 1.5 lines. Shutting all till the nostrils. I'll just highlight this section, Mataji. This one.
Okay, Prabhuji. Shutting out all the external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils.
Thank you, Mataji. So this two verses I said, they are for the Ashtanga Yoga. Just a little glimpse of Ashtanga Yoga. So verse 27 is talking about external control. 28 is talking about internal control. We'll read in chapter 6 in detail what they are when we read all the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. So just a little one here. Sparshan karta. What does sparshan means? We have read it many times. Sparsh karna. Contact of the senses. It does not just need the touch. When we touch some hot surface or cold surface, touch is also done by eyes. Eyes see a picture and the desire come in the heart, isn't it? Ear listen some nice music. Oh, that movie I should watch just by hearing. Just by looking at the movie poster, for example, the desire may come in your heart. And same can apply for Krishna conscious activities. We hear a nice music by Sri Prahlad Prabhu, for example. Oh, I should go. Sri Prahlad Prabhu is singing today, huh? Today, Sharad Purnima, devotees have decorated Radha Gopinath so nicely. Let me go to temple, huh? So it can work both ways. So sparshan kartva bahir bahyan. So bahir means external touches. Whenever the external touch comes, that keep it biased, keep it external only. What happens from the external? It becomes internal. When we see, we hear, we smell, we get a desire to enjoy. Huh? I smell a nice dhokla. Anyone made dhokla today? No? Okay, I still smell. So I smell nice dhokla. Desire comes within. I should eat dhokla. I hear a music. Oh, that's a nice one. Let me go and Google this Gana, this Hindi song. Huh? And what was the next line? I forgot. I cannot ask because I'm a so-called devotee, right? So what I do, I Google. Huh? No, you should not do, but I'm saying it happens many times. So we Google these days. Huh? So what Krishna is saying, when an external sense objects comes, you keep it out. So you cannot shut your eyes, you cannot shut your ear, you cannot shut your mouth and nose. No, it has to be open, but keep it out. So if you touch something, if you hear something, you see something, keep it out. Don't bring it inside. That means don't bring the desire in. Okay. So sparshan karta bahir bahyan. So whatever is outside, keep it outside. What you should be doing? Chakshus chaivan tare bhruvoho. Bhruvo refers to these eyelids. So he's saying chakshus, our eyes should be concentrating on the middle portion here, in between the eyebrows. Prana, Pana, Samo, Krapta. So Prana Vayu and Apan Vayu. Prana which goes out, Apan which goes in, downwards and upwards. Prana Vayu goes upwards, Apan Vayu goes downwards. So Samay Kratva, you make them suspending. So suspending inward and outward breath. So a yogi can do that. I don't know how to do it, but a yogi can do it. He can sort of put them in an equilibrium state. So the outward air and the inward air, he can put in an equilibrium state. Nasa bhyantar charino. So Nasa refers to Nasika. We have Nasik, where Lakshman cut the nose of Shubhraka. So Nasa bhyantar charino. So where you should be concentrating on the agra of Nasika, is the tip of the nose, or in between your eyebrows. So a yogi is concentrating. So he does not bring the outside objects inwards. He keeps outside sense objects outside, does not bring any desire inside. And he's concentrating his eyes on the tip of the nose or in between the eyebrows. So that's the external part. Let's read the internal part, which is the verse 28. Maybe someone else can read. Priya, okay, Priya Mataji or anyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji, would you like to read 28?
Sure. Is it? Just one second. Yatendriya manobuddhir.
Yatendriya manobuddhir.
Munir moksha parayana.
Munir moksha parayana.
Vigate cha bhaya krodho.
Vigat ichha bhaya krodho.
Ya sada mukta eva sa.
Ya sada mukta eva saha. So now this is the translation of 28.
And thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated.
Thank you, Mataji. So yata indriya, so yata is that person. Indriya refers to senses, mana is mind, buddhi is the intelligence. So this person is controlling this muni, this Rishyaha or Muni, whatever you want to call, Moksha Parayana. So whoever is aspiring for moksha, aspiring for liberation, he's controlling his Indriya, senses, mind, and intelligence. And see, this is all internal picture, right? And this line is very important. Vigat, Vitarag Bhaya Krodha. So if you remember in 4.10, so Vitarag Bhaya Krodha, we read this similar thing here. Ichha refers to Kamana, desire. And Krodha, so Krodha and Ichha we have read again and again. So we should be Vigat means to get them out, Now the third word which Krishna is introducing, I should say reintroducing after 4.10, Bhaya. What does Bhaya refers to? Now, don't give me the literal translation. We all know that. What does bhaya refers to in philosophy, for example, here?
Bhaya means dar, Prabhuji.
Yes, that's nice. Fear. Bhaya means fear.
Yes.
So what does it signifies in this context here? So this person, Muni, is controlling his intelligence, he's controlling his mind, he's controlling his senses. He doesn't have any calm, he doesn't have lust or krodha, but he says should not have any bhaya. So bhaya of what?
Bhaya of bhaya of
Repeating
losing
what?
something or possession.
Sorry, maybe one person at a time. That's okay. That's okay. Everyone is participating. That's nice. So maybe Sonia Mataji, you can say, and then
Bhaya can be of various things, Prabhuji. Bhaya can be of losing possession, or
yes,
bhaya of death.
yes. So it can exist on external level. And Priya Mataji, you were saying something.
Yes, I was also like fear of fear of death also I was going to say.
Fear of death, fear of losing our possessions.
Prabhu, can I try?
Yes, Mataji.
So bhaya refers to here is I don't know what there is in the spiritual realm. So I don't know. I don't want, so since I don't know what there is in the spiritual realm, I don't want to explore it.
Yes.
Because there are all these obstacles while exploring it.
Yeah. So Mataji has said the right meaning in this context. So, but bhaya can be at different levels. Bhaya can be on an external level as well, where we are exposed to some threats and we are fearful, and that's fine. But bhaya, internal bhaya, in philosophical, what does it mean? As Mataji said, where does Krishna live? You know, whether the spiritual realm exists or does not exist, I don't know. Maybe Krishna does not exist. Maybe spiritual world does not exist. Maybe devotees are just making it up. You know, we also have that bhaya many times. It's called in philosophy called doubts. It's called doubts. Sometimes we have desire, sometimes we have doubt. Desire means I want to enjoy the material world. Doubts means I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Is Krishna watching me? Does Krishna really exist? Does spiritual world really exist? Prabhupada will really take us back to spiritual world. All these are called doubts. It says out of desire and doubts, which is more dangerous. Desire means I want to enjoy this and that and all these material sense gratification. Out of desire and doubts, which is more dangerous.
Doubt. Asamshayas kutha sukham.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So doubts are more dangerous. Doubts are more dangerous. So if someone wants to smoke cigarette or drink alcohol and all that, and how long he will do, they will get back to their senses sooner or later. But doubts can make even a very advanced devotee fall down. Very advanced devotee fall down. So here bhaya refers to that ultimate bhaya, whether Krishna really exists or no. So we should have no doubt. Vigat ichha bhaya krodha. Yah sada mukta eva saha. So that person is always certainly liberated. Always in the state of certainly liberated.
Prabhuji, does the doubt come from fear?
Doubts come from fear. Yes, if you are too much attached, Mataji, for your possessions, for example, then the doubt will come whether someone should steal my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 14, for example. I'm too much attached to my iPhone 14. The fear will come. And from that fear, I will start doubting on other people. If it's stolen, for example, I will start doubting on others. So yes, it is in one sense related to our attachments, which will in turn produce fear in you on external level, and then on internal level, doubts as well. And we'll read in 529 how Krishna will sort of answer these questions in one verse packed up with so many things. Okay, so let's read 529 again. Very, very, very famous verse. Maybe I can request Charu Mataji while she's there. Very beautiful verse.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Bhoktaram yajna tapasam.
Bhoktaram yajna tapasam.
Sarvaloka maheshwaram.
Sarvaloka maheshwaram.
Surhudam sarva bhutanam.
Surhudam sarva bhutanam.
Nyatva mam shantim richati.
Nyatva mam shantim richati.
Translation. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is again a very famous verse. Prabhupada quoted it many, many times, and Prabhupada called this first time in America when he was distributing pamphlets. So he said, put this verse, and he called this verse as peace formula. So if you follow this verse, you'll get peace. Now let's look at this verse and see why Prabhupada said that. So bhoktaram yajna tapasam. So yajna refers to sacrifices, tapasam is the austerity. Who is the bhokta of those sacrifices and austerities? Bhoktaram. Krishna says, that's me. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So I am the proprietor of all the lokas and all the planets which exist. Third, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. So Suhrad word is very nice, and Krishna will use it again in Bhagavad Gita. So Suhrad can have two meaning. One who is very close to heart, that is also called Suhrad, and one who is a well-wisher from the heart. So he's just not a well-wisher of the external body, as Prabhupada said. I love you, all my disciples, but I don't skin love you. Prabhupada said, I don't skin love you. So I just do not love your body. Prabhupada also loved the body of their disciples. Prabhupada looked after their well-being. He was very, very personal. But at the same time, he said, I don't just skin love you. I just don't love your body. He loved the soul primarily. So Suhrad Sarvbhutanam. So Krishna is very, very well-wisher of Sarvbhutanam, of all the living beings. Gyatva, one who knows these three characteristics of mine, Gyatva Mam, this is mine, Shantim Rachati, he will attain the peace. He will attain the peace. So Prabhupada called this peace formula. Now, why by knowing these three qualities of Krishna, we will attain peace? Any ideas? So you will say for peace, we need to have some sort of, especially when the war is going on between two countries, the peace will mean all the representatives of the one country will sit with another country and they will sort of sign another treaty, no nuclear war and this and that. We have to sit down and agree with each other on our disagreements and blah, blah, blah. But why by knowing Krishna's these qualities, we will get peace? What's the relation? Everyone understood the question? So we are reading Krishna's qualities and we're saying by knowing the qualities of Krishna, we will get peace. Krishna is saying, Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. So if you know that, you will get peace. How's that? Any ideas?
Is it because everything we offered is everything is for Krishna only, nothing belongs to us? So
that you're talking in a devotee way, Mataji, which is nice. But as a normal person, how would you sort of relate it?
Prabhu, if we have internally, if we make peace with God, then we can be peaceful outside.
Thank you, Mataji.
And if we have resentments, then we should just try to understand, as Mataji says, that resentments can be inward, they can be outward, they can be upward, I mean, with God as well. Yes. So if you know God, then you can be, all these three can be resolved and you will be at peace with yourself. Yes. Which is why you'll be at peace with everything outside. If you're internally peaceful, then you're externally also peaceful.
Yeah, so that's the bottom line. So when we are peaceful, when we are internally satisfied, isn't it? When we are internally agitated, whoever comes in touch with you, you will just blast them off, isn't it? Sometimes you are off, for whatever reason, and someone comes, say, Arey, I didn't mean it. You just blast them off because your internal are unsatisfied. You are agitated inside your heart, and you will all experience in our family sometimes, a child comes to say, Mama, can I take? Mama is angry or Papa is angry or sometimes other way. So you say, Arey, I didn't say anything. Why are you so angry, so upset? I'm sorry. In the office, sometimes you get some unfavorable situation. So you get agitated in that. And when you come home, you pour all your anger on your family member sometimes. It happens. So
Prabhu, they say hurt people, hurt people.
Sorry, say again, Mataji.
Hurt people, hurt people. So there's an saying in English, hurt people, hurt people. So people who are hurt, Go
Yes.
out and hurt
They hurt
others.
people. Yes.
Yes.
Hurt people, hurt people. Yeah, that's nice. I never heard that earlier. So if you are hurt, you will hurt others. Makes sense. So if you are unpeaceful, the only thing you will emanate unpeacefulness. If you are happy inside, you will emanate happiness outside. When you go to a marriage or something, the photographer will say, please smile. Maybe you're very off, but you just smile externally because camera doesn't read your internal smile. Internally, you may be very agitated. These in-laws are saying that, and this is going wrong, that is going wrong. Your heart is but in the camera, you have a big teeth on. This is called external happiness. A person who is internally joyful, in a joyful state, he doesn't have to do that. You will see this person is just beaming all the time. He's just happy. He's emanating happiness. And when you get in touch with this person, you want to have more association of this person. And I can think of, say, Prabhupada, for example. Prabhupada was so friendly with everyone, not only with the devotees, even with non-devotees. He was very, very friendly. He will go out with anyone. He will talk to a man or a lady. He will just become friend of them. He will just become friend of them because he was inside so happy and so satisfied, connected with Krishna. So what he was giving out, he was giving out Krishna and happiness. So for our peacefulness, we have to understand one thing. First, we have to become peaceful inside. And how do you become peaceful inside? By being satisfied inside. If you're hankering all the time or lamenting all the time, you cannot be peaceful. So why you're unsatisfied? Because you could not achieve something, someone said something to you, blah, 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 right? So we are not satisfied inside, as Charu Mataji was very nicely saying. We are resenting inside. So resentment can go in three directions, as Mataji said. So resentment can go outward, resentment can go inward, and resentment can go upwards. Outward means if I am unhappy, the first blame which I will give to the person sitting next to me. आपकी वजह से मैं परेशान हूँ. Just because of you, I'm in a miserable situation. It happens all the time. And he will say, मैंने क्या किया है? I haven't done anything. Why are you blaming me? And he will say, I have to blame someone. So many times we just blame other person or other object for our unhappiness. So it's called resentment going outward. Resentment going inward, sometimes you feel guilty yourself. I'm so useless. I'm of no use. You feel so much guilty in yourself. And many times people commit suicide just in the feeling of guilt. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. Then they commit suicide. So, and sometimes they blame upwards. Upwards means who is upwards? I'm in unit 5, so upward unit 7. But the people who have live in houses, I'm looking at Sumit Prabhu.
Krishna or God.
Huh?
Krishna or God.
Krishna or God. So we blame Krishna only because of you. My stars are not in favor. My Shani is not in favor. Or Bhagwan doesn't like me. He doesn't like my face. He doesn't like my language. He doesn't like my color. So we blame either ourselves, either our neighbor or person next to us, or we blame God. So we are constantly resenting. But when we understand who God is, so the first quality of God given by God here, Bhoktaram Yakitapsam. So who is the beneficiary of all the sacrifices and austerities? Me. What I think, generally we think, that if I am doing any sacrifice or austerity, who should be the enjoyer? Jai Prakash Prabhu? If I am doing austerity, who should get the result? What's my feeling? Be honest. Me.
Oneself, yeah.
Huh?
Oneself.
Oneself, isn't it? Suppose someone tells you, Mataji, you chant, but Prabhuji will go back to Godhead. How would you feel? I was chanting, I was doing Ekadashi, I was doing Kartik Vrata, and he will go back to Godhead. Why? You say, oh, we are all very selfless. What selfless? Even if someone takes away two rounds, we have to chant 1 round extra for someone. It's very difficult. Solar round for us, very easy. But 1 round for others, very difficult. Anyone experience that? I have experienced it. Sometimes I chant round for someone. It's difficult. That 1 round is difficult. For ours, 1632, no problem. So giving others is very difficult, very, very difficult. But when we understand, I am not the enjoyer, it's Krishna who is the enjoyer. When we understand the fact from inside, not just theory, Bhoktar, he is the proprietor. He is the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices. Then we don't become too possessive. Don't become too possessive that, no, I should be enjoying. No, actually, Krishna is the enjoyer. He got it. That's fine. Then we see the next line is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. We think we are the owner of this house, this unit, this car, this mobile, this family, this community. I am leading the community. I am the community leader. Hang on a second. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is the Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, not me. Not my little tiny brain or intellect. No, Sarvalo, he is a Sarvalo Maheshwar. Again, your possessiveness mentality comes down. Third, Suhridam Sarvbhutanam. Krishna is the well-wisher of all living entities, and I am in the set of all as well. If he loves all, am I within that all or no? I'm also within that all. So he is Suhrad of me as well. So if he is Suhrad, if my plans is not working as per my desire, but he is my Suhrad, so he must know what is good for me, and he is doing that way. I don't understand it, but he understands it. He's doing it because he's my well-wisher. So again, my resentment will not go too much inward, outward, or upward. So that way, once we understand these three things, our heart is little more satisfied, peaceful, and calm. And when we are calm, we are peaceful, then what will emanate outside? Peace, happiness. Huh? But if we are angry, what will emanate? Anger outside. Huh? So by understanding these three qualities of Krishna, a devotee becomes very peaceful and calm, and actually he enjoys in every situation, because Krishna is the Suhrad of all the living entities. Even if my plans are not working, I'm not able to possess something for whatever reason, possess something or someone which I think was good for me, it doesn't matter. I've done the austerity and my next neighbor, this devotee is getting benefit. I'm so happy. I give credit to this devotee for the service, not I take the credit. I was the one who started this department. I am the leader. I have done. No, I give credit to others. This is called Bhoktaram Yaktab Sam. So others, because he's a devotee of Krishna. I heard in some lecture, he says the biggest thing in the world is to give credit to others, and a devotee is able to do that. Non-devotee cannot do that. We are always grabbing credit, but a devotee is in giving credit because he understands he's very insignificant. He really thinks in his heart, I have no qualifications, but this devotee is so nice. He has done such a wonderful service. Even the small service of other devotee, he will take it very big and he gives credit. Even if he has done something, if he is, oh, it's all due to the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and the help of other Vaishnavas, the guidance of other Vaishnavas, and he gives. And then internally, he's very peaceful. So just by reading and understanding these qualities of Krishna, we really become very peaceful inside. No resentment retains in our heart. And then the whole world will become a place of peace, isn't it? Because every person is peaceful. So that's why Prabhupada called this a peace formula. Okay, there's a question from Sonia Mataji, I guess. Sumit Prabhu is very peaceful. Because
I'm the only one, Prabhuji, who asked so many questions.
No problem, Mataji. Prabhupada said, we love questions. We love questions. Questions is a sign of intelligence. It doesn't mean who are not asking questions, they're not intelligent, but questions are most welcome. Hare
I took it that way, Prabhuji.
You are silent intelligent. Okay, Mataji.
Prabhuji, this one is related to the previous verse, just a verse before that we did. We were talking about fear, Prabhuji. So one thing is just stuck in my mind, so I thought I'll clarify. Fear can be, Prabhuji, for a person like us also. Sometimes we think that, whether we'll get Krishna or not. Yeah. Like, because we are doing whatever we can, but we are not doing enough. So
this is what we were referring, Mataji. So fear exists on a spiritual level. Does Krishna exist? Does my austerity will be able to get me to Krishna? There are two levels of fear. Okay. So first fear is whether the object of worship exists, right? You're going in a train or your car to some place, and you're going to a suburb called Makanapula. Have you heard about it? Because it doesn't exist. I just made it up. So if you're driving in your car to Makanapula, you will never reach because it never exists. Huh? It's just a khichdi of my mind just now. I never planned that way. Huh? Second question can be Makanapula exists, for example, Edmondson Park exists. I'm driving, but whether I will be able to reach or no. Huh? There are two types of fear. So yes, you're right, Mataji. So there are two types of fear on a spiritual level, but both should not be there. Krishna exists, and the process, I'm not able to follow properly. That's fine. But the process itself is very powerful. This train given by Prabhupada is very powerful. I'm not able to hold the train. That's my problem.
Yes,
But
that's all.
again, I'm taking shelter of Prabhupada. Please, you give me strength, so I will be hold your instructions. Huh? I'm weak. I'm weak. So yes, 2 levels of fear for spirituality.
And also,
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
external
like
material
for a
fear.
person who is doing, like for people like us, is it nothing is guaranteed that, you know, whether we'll get human birth again or we can go into any species as well. So if we get human birth as well, we can still do, you know, Krishna bhakti and Krishna. We can still attain and we can try to get Krishna eventually. No matter, as long as we are trying to, one day we will reach to Krishna. But there is a fear that what if we don't even get the human birth, then we would not be in a capacity, in a position to do bhakti for Krishna. Then the chances will be, so that kind of fear sometimes come.
Yes.
Or is it for
Yes.
sure that Krishna, we know that Krishna will always look after and Krishna will be there. But that kind of fear is, you know, valid or?
No, it's not. Sorry. That's why we're reading Shastra. And the example, Mataji, all of us know of Jad Bharat. Jad Bharat became an animal. Externally, he became an animal. From a very high advanced devotional platform, he sort of externally fell down to the platform of animal. But what happens as for Bhagavad Gita 240, Neha vikarma shosi pratyevayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharma se trayate mahato bhayat. So this verse clearly says, even a little advancement on this path will never be lost. Suppose you have done 2% devotion, very simple example. So next birth, whenever, wherever you will get, you may become a crow or a dog or whatever. Krishna is guaranteeing you will start from 2%. You will not go back. Suppose in this birth you have achieved 5 PhDs. Suppose no one gets 5 PhD, but suppose you got it. But when you die, you take another birth. Can you carry? In last birth, I had 5 PhDs. Can you just allocate me one? No one will give you one, but Krishna is the one who will say, whatever you have done, even the smallest seva you have done, you will start from there. So there should not be any fear. And that's why we are reading Shastra, just to know this fear is valid, but Shastra is filled with examples. First, we should not have fear because Krishna will look after us. Now, how he will look after, that we leave it to him. That is out of our, none of our business actually. Huh? When a child gives himself or herself in a mother's lap or father's lap, the child doesn't care where my father or mother is taking me. He's just relaxed. Prabhupada also gave an example of a monkey baby holding a monkey. Huh? So, you know, little monkeys, you go to Vrindavan. I'm sure you're going to Vrindavan soon. You're holding the mother monkey. Huh? And then mother monkey is jumping from one branch to another branch, from this building to that building. Just nice. Huh? So you are in the hands of Krishna. So all we have to do what we can do, and what he needs to do, he will do. So Radhesham Prabhu says, you know, you do your best, leave the rest. So don't even think about those things. Like when you're going to India, another practical example, I'm sure you buy a plane ticket, not a ship ticket. So you buy a plane ticket. Do you go to the cockpit and see the pilot? Do you have your license? Do you know how to fly the plane? Can you show me you have enough experience? Are you not drunk? Have you taken enough food? You don't ask all these questions. You just have faith in the pilot. You just sit in the plane, you pay some money, you sit in the plane, and then you go. So you're sitting the this plane of ESCON. Pilot is Prabhupada. He will do it. You don't have to check the qualification and ask questions to pilot. He will do it. Our spiritual master is there, Prabhupada is there, devotees, Vaishnavas are there. You just sit in the plane, don't jump out. That's all. Whether the plane is going slow, fast, going via Singapore or via Thailand, it doesn't matter. Just sit in the plane. No matter what happens, I'm never going to leave Krishna or his holy name or his seva. No matter what. That's it. No matter how fallen I am, no matter how many births it's going to take, I'm not going to quit my devotional service ever. That's it. And rest Krishna will do. It doesn't mean you should not be sincere, but you know what I'm saying. Leave few things on Krishna's hand.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother. Nice question. Okay, let's move to chapter 6 now. Now this is a chapter of Dhyan Yoga, very sort of some technical aspects are also there. So in general, what we can take from this chapter, when this Ashtanga Yoga technical aspects come, Chaitanya Prabhu was listening to him and he said, we can take some general principles from this chapter, which we can apply in our devotional life. And that will be very nice. And some verses are really nice and very, very famous, which we'll read through. Now, before we go to the chapter, just a quick overview of the chapter as given in the Mayapur handbook. So this chapter is Dhyan Yoga. Obviously, the Sanskrit and English name are exactly same. Dhyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga. You may remember the third chapter also, Karma Yoga, Karma Yoga. Other chapters have little different Sanskrit names. So the Dhyan Yoga. So in this chapter, devotees have divided this into 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 sections here. So the first section is Yoga, Rurukshu to Yoga Rudha practice, 1 to 9. So Rurukshu word refers to a neophyte state. Arudha refers to the advanced stage. So we'll read how a yogi goes from a neophyte state to the advanced state. Second says stages in yoga practice and samadhi. So there are different, so this little technical section where we'll explain about where he goes, how he sits, what sort of practices he does, and all those things. This will be here in stages in yoga practice and samadhi. The perfection of yoga. This is a very nice section. Also, these 2 sections have multiple divisions of realizations of Brahman, realization of Paramatma, and realization of Bhagwan. If I'm not wrong, this is a section of realization of Bhagwan, realization of Krishna, and 10 to 27 has 2 sections, I think 10 to 15, and then 16 to 27. So 10 to 15 is the realization of Brahman, and 16 to 27 is realization of Paramatma. Now, Ashtanga Yoga rejected by Arjuna. So Arjuna says, Krishna, you have explained very nicely, but I can't follow it. So he has certain questions, which obviously representing us, how our mind is. And then he also asks questions 37, 38, what is the destination of unsuccessful yogi? And Krishna responds to those questions. And finally, Krishna closes the chapter is with who is the topmost yogi, 46 and 47. 47 is a very, very famous verse. Okay, so these are the different subsections in this chapter. So let's start from chapter 6, Yoga Rudha to Yoga Aruruksha to Yoga Rudha practice, 1 to 9, from neophyte state to the advanced state in Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, text 1, who hasn't done as yet? Vinay Prabhu is home.
Yes, Prabhuji, I can do now.
Thank you.
So, Sri Bhagavan
Uvacha
Anashrita karma phalam
Anashrita karma phalam
Karjan karma karotija
Karyam karma karoti yaha
Shasannasi cha yogi cha
Sasanyasi cha yogi cha
Na niragni na chakriya
Niragni na chakriya.
Hare Krishna. And translation is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligate is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true majestic, not he who lights no fire and perform no duty. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here we can start from 3rd line just to see what Krishna is talking here from in the very beginning of this chapter. Sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. So that person, sa refers to that, he's a sannyasi and a yogi. So in the previous chapters, if you remember chapter 5, we read in terms of ultimate destination, sannyas and yoga leads to the same destination. But now here he's saying sannyas and yoga in content as well, they are the same. Sa sannyasi cha yogi. And what is the definition Krishna is giving in this particular verse? Anashrita karma phalam. So karma phalam refers to the phala of our activity. So whenever we do any activity, we are always motivated by the phala. For example, we go to work. What's the motivation in going to work? Phala, paisa, money. Salary coming, right? So that's if suppose Prabhu's salary doesn't come, will you go to work? Yes or no? Any nice?
No.
volunteers working 50 hours a week for West Bank or CBA or something like that. If the salary stops, no phala comes, no duty, no service, right? Bye-bye. So we are all motivated by karma phala. But this person, a sannyasi and a yogi, as per Krishna, anashritaha, so he is not taking shelter of karma phala. So he is not motivated by karma phala. Now, karma phala here refers to motivation for material sense gratification. So when we, some people work very hard, 16 to 18 hours a day. What's their motivation? I'll become the CEO of this company. I'll earn so much money that I'll buy a 10 million house. I will do this and that. So they are all taking ashray, shelter of that karma phala. But this person, anashrita, he does not get motivation just to achieve some external desires in this material world. Karyam karma karotiya, but he is doing the karya. He is not just sitting idle. And Krishna says, who is the idle person? Na nir agnir. So we are supposed to, lit up the fire. In Grihastha Ashram, it says you should do pancha yagya. So you have to lit fire 5 times. You have to satisfy demigods and all those things. This is the duty of a Grihastha. Now you can say why we are not doing in Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga we do a different sacrifice. What's the sacrifice for Kali Yuga? Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. So that's a Kali Yuga sacrifice, which we do how many times a day?
16 down.
Satatam kirtayanto mam, satatam, all the time. Even if you are at work, a devotee at work actually is working for Krishna. The money he gets, the salary he gets, he engages every single cent in the service of Krishna. When you go to market to buy some vegetables or milk or whatever else, that is for your ashram, that's for your Jagannath, that's for your Gaur-Nitai. So devotee is always engaged in the service of Krishna. So satatam kirtayanto mam, kirtaniye sadahari. So Krishna is saying he is the person who does not take shelter of the karma phala. He always doing the activity but not taking the shelter of karma phala. He is a sannyasi as well as the yogi. Not the person who na nir agnir, who does not lit up the fire and he does not work. So basically what Krishna is saying to Arjuna, don't think just by going to jungle, not doing any activity, akriyaha, not doing any duty will make me a sannyasi. That's not the definition of sannyasi. What's the definition of sannyasi? He is working, but without the motivation of karma phala in the material world. Okay. So that's the first thing Krishna is saying. Now we'll extend in the second verse, just expanding the thoughts more. Who will do this? Mohit Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe it's a little bit far. Sumit Prabhu.
Sorry, I'm just unmuting you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Let me just. Yam sannyasam iti prahur.
Yam sannyasam iti prahur.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Nahi asanyasata sankalpo.
Nahi asanyasta sankalpo.
Yogi bhavati kaschana.
Yogi bhavati kaschana.
What is called renunciation? You should know to be the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme, also not Pandu. For one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the first characteristic Krishna is giving very strongly here. So the first 2 lines are very sort of well understood. Yam sannyasam iti prahu. So what you call as sannyas, yogam tam vidhi pandava, that is yoga as well. Now it says sannyas refers to giving up, yoga refers to connecting. How do they relate with each other? That is clarified in the 3rd line. So yoga means connecting with the Supreme and sannyas means disconnecting with the material consciousness, isn't it? So sannyas is not just a dress. I take a danda, I wear some orange robes, and I become a sannyasi. No, that's not the definition of sannyasi. Sannyas means giving up the desire for sense gratification. This is what Krishna says in the third line. Nahi, not that person who is asannyasta. Sannyas means giving up. Asannyas means not giving up. What are you not giving up? Sankalpa refers to desire. So if you are not giving up sankalpa, if you are not giving up desire for sense gratification, material desires you're not giving up, then yogi bhavtikashan, na yogi bhavtikashan, you will not become a yogi. So how do you become a yogi? By giving up very strongly. Krishna is saying, giving up the desire for sense gratification, and unless you give it up, you cannot become a yogi. So how you become a yogi, how you become a devotee, basically, not only by connecting with Krishna, but also disconnecting with the material world. Prabhupada said, sense gratification and spiritual advancement go ill together. Suppose you're chanting Hare Krishna and still doing a lot of sinful activities, you will not be advanced much in spirituality. Yeah, you will get some benefit of chanting Hare Krishna, definitely. It will never go in vain, but it's like driving a car with the brake on. Can you drive a car? Put your brake fully, put your feet on the brake, and you're pressing the accelerator as well. Will the car go anywhere? Any drivers here who drives the car? Try to do that next time. But we are all doing that actually in our spiritual life. We are putting our brakes on. Brakes on means we are holding on to our material possessions, material desires. We don't want to give them up. And we are pressing the accelerator. Accelerator means doing Kartik Vrata, doing chanting rounds, doing Mangala Aarti sometime, which is again very nice, very, very nice. But if you leave these brakes, if you take the foot off from the brake, what will happen? Your car will go very fast. The day we are able to quit our mentality of bhoga in the material world, our hopes in the material world, if we are able to do that, our car of spiritual advancement will go very, very fast. And how we will be able to do that? Bhagavatam explains, by getting the blessings of Vaishnavas. Once we get the blessings of Vaishnavas, then our desire for sense gratification will go. And then our spiritual advancement, our sadhana will really fructify, will get in our heart. It's really nice. Krishna consciousness is really nice. It's really nice. It's just not a theory. You'll be feeling in your heart. Krishna is so nice. Devotional service is so nice. But if you're having it on, asanyasa sankalpo, you're not able to give up the sankalpa, desire for sense gratification, na yogi, you will not become a yogi. So very strong recommendation of Krishna to lose these material hopes. 6.3, Sumit Prabhuji, if you are able to. I know Sumit Prabhu is constantly dealing with so many other things as well.
No, Prabhuji, all good. I think I'll just try that.
Yeah.
Okay. Arurokshor munir yogam.
Arurokshor munir yogam.
Karma karanam uchyate.
Karma karanam uchyate.
Yogarudasya tasyaiva.
Yogarudasya tasyaiva.
Shamah karanam uchyate.
Shamah karanam uchyate.
Translation: for one who is neophyte in the Eightfold Yoga system, work is said to be the means, and for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So as we said, there are two stages written in the PDFs: Yoga Rukshu stage and Yoga Ruda stage. So same we see here. So Aru Roksh Muner Yogam. So the person that Muni, which is situated in yoga, Aru Roksh refers to, he has just begun the yoga, a neophyte person. A neophyte person who has just started his journey in yoga. Karma Karanam Uchate. He has to do his duty. Doing his duty will become the means for his advancement. What does it mean? A grahastha, suppose he's following his household duties, working outside, looking after parents and family, doing different household activities. Just by doing the prescribed duties, actually he will advance. Yoga Rudasya refers to one who is Aruda. Aruda refers to Chaitanya Prabhu gives two examples. Very nice. He says, Rath Arud. Rath Arud means one who has already situated in the Ratha. or he also says Vishnu is Garud Arud. So Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, is going from somewhere to somewhere. He's sitting on Garuda. He's Garud Arud. So Arud means one who is already situated, not he's getting inside the bus. You know, you already got a seat in the bus. You have a reserved seat. You go inside and sit nicely. So you're called Arud. That means you are advanced. So if you are advanced, what will happen? Shamaha. So as we know, there are two words, Shamaha and Damaha. So we use the word Indriya Daman. So Daman refers to external control and Shama refers to internal control. That means your mind is not agitated. So Shama Karana Muchate. Shama refers to cessation, stopping. What we are stopping? Karma. So a person who is advanced, he can stop the work, and stopping the work will become cause of his advancement. But a person who is a neophyte, for him stopping the work is not recommended. For him, what is recommended? Karma karma, he has to do karma, he has to do the duties, right? So when Arjuna is again saying, I will go in the jungle and sit, he said, hang on a second, are you a very advanced yogi or you are a very neophyte yogi? So we are neophyte in this, and that's why we have to do our prescribed duties. We cannot come out of our duty. We cannot leave the responsibility unless Krishna takes it away. Like Prabhupada's life example, Krishna did many things in Prabhupada's life. He was still hanging on to it. He was trying to make his business, make his family happy, but his business failed, his family failed, and later Prabhupada just left everything. That was Krishna's arrangement, obviously. So we cannot come out of the responsibility because we are in the neophyte state. So we have to do our duties as much as possible. Karma karana mucha. So we have to do, but once you are situated in a very high advanced stage, then shama karana mucha, then you can stop. So I'll read Prabhupada translation again, very nice. For one who is a neophyte in Eightfold Yoga system, work is said to be the means. That means he has to continue with the work. For one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. Suppose the very big sannyasi is still going for work, not needed for him. Not that he cannot maintain his consciousness at work, but it's not needed for him. So elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. Okay, 6.4. Jayaprakash Prabhu is ready. It's already unmuted.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yada hi nendriyarteshu na karmasva anujjasate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhastadochyate. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. A person is said to be elevated in yoga when, having renounced all the material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitive activities.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So what are the characteristics of this yoga rule, which we read in the previous verse? Yada hi na indriya artheshu. Indriya artheshu means the business of senses. So he's not engaging himself in the business of senses. Na karma swa anusajjate. So anusajjate, Prabhupada writes, one necessarily engages in the fruitive activities. So he's not engaging himself in sense gratification. He is not engaging himself in fruitive actions. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. Sankalpa refers to, in the previous verse we read, asanyasta sankalpo. Sankalpa refers to material desires. So sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has given up all the material gratification desires. He has just given up desires. Yoga rudhas sadochyate. So that person is known as yoga rudha. So three characteristics are given here. So he does not engage himself in the business of senses. He does not engage himself in the fruitive activities, and he has given up all the desires for sense gratification. Many times we engage ourselves in sense gratification, start from engaging the fruitive activity. So we want to achieve something. Or I just want to achieve that thing or that position. And as soon as you achieve it, you start enjoying it. I want to become president, for example. As soon as you become president, you are lost in the power. But this person is neither engaging himself in the fruitive activities, nor engaging himself in the business of sense gratification, nor he has even desire The desire is a big thing. Many times, we can control our desire. We still want it, but we won't do it because it's not conducive for our devotional life. But this person, Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, he has given up all the desires as well. Not only externally he is not involved, even internally he is not involved. 6.5. Prasannatma Prabhu.
Okay, let me see. Uddhare atmanatmanam.
Uddharet atmanatmanam.
Na atmanam avasadyate. Avasadayat.
Na atmanam avasadayet.
Atmaiva hi atmano bandhur.
Atmaiva hi atmano bandhur.
Atmai ripur atmana.
Atmaiva ripur atmanaha.
Translation. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well.
Thank you, Prabhu. So how this person is able to do what he was able to do? So Krishna describes he can control his mind because mind acts both ways. Let's read. Uddharet. So Uddharet, everyone knows. Uddhar karna, to liberate, to go up. Uddharet atmana. So atmana. So now there are many atma word is used here. So we have to take help of Prabhupada translation. So atmana. The first one refers to by the mind. Atmanam, Prabhupada said, is the conditioned soul. So one should elevate, uddharet means elevate, to go up, to liberate his atmanam, which is the conditioned soul, by the help of atmana, which is the mind. So Prabhupada writes, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind. So one must deliver himself refers to the Atmanam, which is the soul. So the soul should be delivered by the help of the mind. If you don't do that, what happens the other way? Avsadhyat. Avsadhyat means going down. So if you don't liberate yourself with the help of your mind, what happens? Your mind will drag you down. Na atmanam avsadhyat. Why your mind will drag you down? Atmaiv hi atmano bandhur. So Atma refers to the mind, can be Atmano Bandhu. Atmano refers to the self, to the soul. Atmaiva, Atma, mind, can be the friend of the soul, or Atmaiv Ripur Atmanaha. Ripu refers to Shatru, enemy. So Atma, mind, can be the friend of Atma, self, or Atma, mind, can be the Ripu, can be the enemy of the self, Atma. Okay, so I know there's so many atmas here, but in simply speaking, mind, if work as a friend, can liberate you. If mind act as an enemy, can downgrade you. So if you are not able to control your mind, you cannot be situated in a high stages of yoga. What to speak of high stages, even the lowest stages, what to speak of in lowest stages of yoga. Even in the material world, to achieve something, you have to control your mind. Suppose you have your HSC exam tomorrow. Can you afford to watch cricket match tonight? You have your exam tomorrow night. You have to go on a big journey. You have to prepare for your journey. You have some guests to attend to. You have your parents to attend to. You have your kid to attend to. You have to give up that sort of cricket match or any other sensitive activity. Even for that time, you have to give it up. You have to say, okay, I'll come back to it later. So what we speak of when we're talking about spirituality. So if your mind is not your friend, what mind will do? It will drag you down. Because it says in the material world, we have this gravitational force. Anything which goes up comes down. You throw a ball up, ball comes down. So similarly, in consciousness as well, in the material world, we have a gravitational force. Consciousness always goes down. If you leave yourself alone in a marketplace, or you go to a club or somewhere there, no matter how great devotee you are, you may feel attracted. Some of the Prabhupada disciples asked Prabhupada, can we preach in the clubs and bars? So many people, young people comes there. Prabhupada said, yes, you can go for preaching, but please come back. Don't just stay there. So why? Because our consciousness at the moment is flowing downwards. Like in an external gravitational force, we have a gravitational force in the material world for consciousness as well. Our consciousness goes down. So if we are not able to control our mind is so strong. Krishna says in 10th chapter, among senses, I am the mind. It's very, very strong. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam as well, Krishna says, mind, the power mind has is the power of God's. So mind's power is like the power of God. Mind is extremely strong, extremely strong. So if he is not your friend, it will drag you down. If it is your friend, the same mind can help you to elevate. The same mind will tell you, chalo mandir jayenge, huh? Today I want to go to temple. Today I want to do in some service. I want to go for Mangla Aarti. I want to go for book distribution. I want to go for Harinam. Same mind, if it's purified, can help you to come closer to the Lord. So this the verse it says. Now why it does what it is doing, that is described in the next verse, 6.6, another famous verse. Rasanand Prabhuji, would you like to do that?
Yes, Prabhu. Bandhur atmanas manastasya
Bandhur atmanastasya
yena atmaiva atmana jita
yenatmaiva atmana jitaha
anatmanastu satruve
anatmanastu shatrutve
vartate atmanaiva shatruvat.
vartetatmaiva shatruvat.
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, mind will remain the greatest enemy. Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here is the reasoning, what was explained in 6.5. How does it work? It works on the basis of who is in control. If we are in control, that means we are able to control our mind, the ball is in our game. Huh? So our mind will help us. If mind becomes our servant, talking in a good sense, if we become Goswami, then the same mind will help us to go faster to Krishna. But if we come under the control of mind, what will happen? The same mind will take us away from Krishna. An example Prabhupada gave, very simple and nice. The same analogy. The soul is sitting in the chariot. So what is the mind? Mind is the reins. Horses are the senses, right? If the reins are not under the control of the chariot driver, what will happen? Horses will go here and there, and where the chariot will go? In a ditch. Now you will just fall down. But if the chariot driver is able to control the mind, then where the mind will take? To the right destination. So if we are in the material world, we cannot give our mind away to someone else. Okay, we can't do that. So what we have to do, we have to, following the instruction of Shastra and Guru and Vaishnavas, by following their instruction, what will happen? Our mind will come under the control. It will be difficult, but it is possible. It will take some time, it will take some tests, but it's possible. So once the mind becomes your friend, the same mind, the same chariot can take you very, very fast. Suppose you have to go from here to temple. I live quite close. I have walked to temple 45 minutes or so. Suppose Sumit Prabhu has to walk to temple. Suppose you can do it. It will take a while, isn't it? 50 kilometers or something. Huh? It will take a while. But if he sits in the car and comes to temple, probably 1 hour, something like that. Huh? Now, if car, as soon as you sit in the car, you get attracted to something which you don't want to. So I will not use the car. I will walk to temple. Possible. But what you can do, you can refine your car so that car becomes your friend. Then you can use the same car to come to temple very fast. But if you keep making excuse that this car distracts me or something, then you can come to temple, but it will be very, very late. So similarly, we cannot just quit our mind. We cannot say, oh, mind is not good, this and that. You can't do that. So what you have to do, you have to tame the mind. Like we tame the tiger in the circus. And how do they tame the tiger? We keep the tiger hungry. The tiger trainer is keeping the tiger hungry. When the mind wants something which is non-Krishna conscious, you say, I'm not giving you the food. I'm not giving you the food. No matter how much the lion roars, how much the mind roars, I really want sense gratification. I want lust to be fulfilled. I want growth to be fulfilled. But a good trainer will say, no, no, no. And for 3 days, 6 days, 7 days, the lion will roar loudly and loudly and loudly. But finally, lion will surrender, isn't it? Finally, tiger will be tamed, and finally our mind will be tamed. It's not so easy. I'm saying it. I should not be saying it because I have no realization on this, but I'm just telling what I've heard. It's the most difficult task to tame the mind, but slowly, if we keep aspiring, we keep making a goal of following the instruction of the Shastra and Guru, mind will come under control. And then we can use the same mind to go back to Krishna. Okay, 6.7, another famous one. This series of famous verses. Who will read that? Nidhi Mataji, would you like to do one more?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Ditatmana prashantasya
Ditatmanaha prashantasya
Paramatma samahita
Paramatma samahitaha
Shitosha sukha dukkheshu
Toshna sukha dukkeshu
Tatha manapamanayo.
Tatha mana apamanayoha.
For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same.
Thank you, Mataji. So this verse which we were discussing earlier, 6 types of dualities. So a person, jit atmana refers to mind. The person who has jita means who has conquered over the mind. So if you have conquered over the mind, what will the characteristic of that person? Prashantasya, he will be supremely peaceful. We have Dhira Prashant Prabhu, for example. His Guru Maharaj has given such a beautiful name. Dhira is very, very patient, and he's Prashanta. We have in Hindi called Prashant Mahasagar. Prashant means very, very calm. Now, Sagar is not Shant. Ocean is never peaceful. But this person, mind is fully Prakarshen Shanta, fully peaceful. And Paramatma Samahita. Samahita refers to very, very close, very, very close. So he has come very close. And Prabhupada writes here, super soul is already reached. Like you're driving from Sydney to Melbourne. If you're on the outskirts of Melbourne, you can say, I'm already in Melbourne. I'm already in Melbourne. As soon as you enter, I'm already in Melbourne. So he's so close to the super soul. And what's the external characteristics? You can say Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha, Man, Apman. He's out of these dualities. So Sita, Ushna refers to the heat and cold. The heat and cold also refers to our pleasure and pains. Sukha and Dukha. So Sita, Ushna is on physical level. Sukha and Dukha is on mental level. So we feel Sukha or we feel Dukha. Suppose we read a news which is I won a lotto, for example. I feel Sukha. Wow, I got a $1 million money, extra money in my account. Dukha, you lost some money, you feel Dukha. So this is on a mental level. The same thing can give me Sukha and you Dukha. If suppose, I think it's a Mahabharata example, you sold me a land, Vinay Prabhu, suppose you sold me a land, and in that land there's a big treasure which you didn't know about. What will happen? The same news will make me Sukha. I just bought a land for $500,000, but I get the jewelry of $5 million. But the same news will Dukha to not Vinay Prabhu, he's a devotee. You say as Jagannath desire. But if the landowner knows about it, oh, I just sold the land and another person got the jewels. Will he be sad? I will be. So same news. So this is called mental concoction. Same news is giving one person Sukha, another person Dukha. This on mental level. And Man Apman is on egoistic level. When someone garlands me, I feel, very nice. I'm so great. And someone abuses me or someone says wrong words to me, it hurts in my heart like anything. And I remember those words more than chanting Hare Krishna. I cannot forget my insult ever in my life. I will never see this person's face ever in my life. We hear all these sentences so many times. So Man Apman. So this person, this yogi who's situated on advanced stages is out of these dualities. Why? He has won over his mind. This is a very nice verse, and he's very shant. He's very, very peaceful. Okay, let's do a few more verses. 6.8. More characteristics of this person. So we are reading the person who is in advanced stages of yoga. Priya Mataji, you want to do one more?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I just open up in my phone, Prabhu, just one second.
Sure, Mataji. So this verse, while Mataji is opening, is giving the vision of this person. 6.8 and 6.9 is giving the vision of this person. So we have spoken about the characteristics of this person. Now vision, how does he sees the things and the people? So 6.8 explains how does he see different things, and 6.9 explains how does he see different people.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma.
Kutosto Vichitendriya.
Kutasto Vichitendriyaha.
Yukta iti uchatya yogi.
Yukta iti uchate yogi.
Samalostrasma kanchana.
Samalostra samakanchanaha.
Translation: a person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. Hare Krishna.
So Jnana Vijnana Traptatma. So this person has knowledge. So Prabhupada translated Gyan as knowledge and Vijnan as realized knowledge. So he says when we hear some words from a speaker giving class, for example, the first word goes into our ear. And many times they come into this ear and goes out from this ear, isn't it? It happens. We are sitting in the class, but we're not absorbing anything. So entry and exit. But some words, it says, out of 100%, only 20% goes in the audience mind, only 20%. And it says, which 20% will go into the mind? We don't know. Mostly the probability, the 20% which you are able to attach with, suppose you have a dog and the speaker is talking about dog. Dog, yeah, what is he saying? What is he saying? It happens all the time. So when you are able to relate your life problem, which speaker is talking, oh yeah, let me listen this point, right? So it says only 20% audience listen, which relates to his or her life. So from this year to that year, in between that year, we have a head. So it's called Shravanam, and then we do some Smaranam. Smaranam is we take the head. Oh, actually, that point is nice. That makes sense. Or we agree or disagree, whatever, right? So some points we take out of the class, which goes into the Smaranam stage. So we contemplate on it. So Bhagavatam says we Shravan and then do Manan. And the third stage is called application stage, which is called realized knowledge. A simple mundane example, a drunkard listening a lecture about why to not smoke or why not to drink alcohol, for example, initially be very reluctant. No. I am still going to smoke. I'm still going to drink alcohol. And then 1 or 2 points he will listen. Oh, smoking causes cancer. Drinking alcohol causes, liver problem and this and that. Oh, actually, maybe I should think about this point. This point looks very logical. So he'll start thinking, and then maybe he will stop smoking at least for a day or so. So this is called application. So similarly in Krishna consciousness also, we hear something, we contemplate on few of those things, and then we apply few of those things. But everything should follow. So when we are in a neophyte stage, we just hear. Second, sometimes we start contemplating, and then we apply that knowledge. No, smoking is really not good. It's not going to give me any pleasure, anything. I've got nothing to do with the smoking. Now here for aspiring devotees like us, it can be we've got nothing to do with the sense gratification. So initially it doesn't fit in our heart. Initially we all think only Shastra is saying sense gratification leads to misery, but I know sense gratification gives pleasure. All of us are convinced up to a degree that sense gratification gives pleasure. We read in Shastra every day, we hear in every lecture, but our mind does not agree with that. It says realization is only when our mind agrees with that reality. When our mind says, no, I've got nothing to do with it. This thing or this person is not going to give me any pleasure. I have to get out of it and I have to go and take shelter of Krishna. That is called Vijnan. So this person, which we are talking in this series of verses, Arudha stage, Gyan and Vijnan, his heart is completely satisfied because he has heard, he has applied that knowledge. Prabhupada gives a nice example here. Book knowledge without realization of the supreme truth is useless. So I can learn a lot of verses, but if I don't apply those verses in my life, at least I don't even attempt to apply in my life, Prabhupada saying that knowledge is useless. In India, you see there are many pundits know a lot of verses from Shastra, but when the application comes, they have very, very little application in their personal life. So Prabhupada saying that sort of knowledge, bookish knowledge, is useless. So Gyan Vigyan Traptatma, Kutastho, he istha refers to sthiti, isthir. He is situated. Kuta is very well situated, like a kuta, like a Himalaya, like a mountain. So mountain you cannot move. Huh? Okay, Krishna can move. Govardhan, we can't. Huh? So he's situated, very well situated. Vijitendriyaha, he has done very well control over his indriyaha. Yukta iti uchate yogi. So that person is a yogi. And the final thing, he's giving a vision which is outside. Sama equal Loshra. Loshra refers to pebbles. Asma refers to stones. And Kanchan, everyone knows Kanchan, gold. Prabhupada gave this example of Chanakya Pandit. This is Kamani and Kanchan. Kamani refers to woman and Kanchan refers to gold. So everyone is after woman and wealth. It says, but this person, Sama, he has an equal vision towards pebble, stones, or gold. For him, it doesn't really matter. So in the material world, you see gold is very attractive. Suppose you find 100 grams of gold lying on the street, what you will do? Why not? Why not? Huh? Now a devotee obviously will take that gold to the gold pati, the real owner of the gold, which is Krishna. But usually people find it very attractive. But if the pebbles are lying on the stone, especially if you're traveling in India, in a village or somewhere, there are hundreds of them. Do you get attracted towards those pebbles and stones on the side of the street? No. But if the stone is, if a gold is lying, you will get very attractive. But a spiritualist, transcendentalist, a person who's a yogi, well situated with Krishna or with transcendence, he knows very well the gold or the stone is exactly same because they both matter. How can a gold help me in increasing my Krishna consciousness? Now it can, suppose, again, I'm not talking about a devotee here. Huh? A devotee can definitely put everything in the service of Lord, including the stone. We can bring a lot of stone and bring a stone temple for Radha Gopinath. Huh? Kansham Prabhu is planning to build a new temple. Huh? We need a lot of money. But that's purely for the pleasure of the Lord. But this person has no extra attraction for the gold, which is not helping him to advance in his spiritual life. So he sees exactly the same. Gold is there, so what? Pebble is there, so what? Stone is there, so what? Because he is kutastho vijitendriyaha. He is very well situated in his transcendence. Okay, I see the watch is 9:17. Everyone is yawning. Thank you so much for tolerating me a little extra, but we'll stop here. Just quickly before you go, I was speaking to Kansham Prabhu regarding the exam date for our first module. We are already in chapter 6, so we'll be finishing it soon. Obviously, a few more classes. We have decided a date of 11th of December if it works for most of the people. I understand it will never work for all of you, most of you, and Prabhu said it's a good date before you go on holidays. We can attend this exam. The exam is going to be, as per Kansham Prabhu, very straightforward, relatively very easy exam. Only short questions will be there. Definitely from Prabhupada books, whatever assignments you have done from those, and also an assignment if you haven't. Many of you have submitted, so thank you so much. Assignments are coming like at 1 o'clock in the night, 2 o'clock in the night, so thank you. People are working hard. But if you haven't done it, please do. Without submitting your assignments, you will not be able to sit in the exam, and your attendance should be 75%. If you have missed out on your attendance, there are online recordings available for the past classes, but it should not be taken as a replacement for your personal attendance. So, but if you have missed out for whatever good reasons in the past, please go on your recordings. If you have any questions, I'm happy to set up a time with you where possible, especially after Karthik, and we can go through all your doubts and clarify as much as possible. So please do that. Exam is coming very, very soon. So 11th of December, it's a Sunday. We have to be physically present in a room, and exam will be around 2 hours, and it's only short questions. The Prabhu has clearly no essay type questions or anything, and you have to recite verses from your mouth, not write. So it's very, very easy. So if you tell me the verses, that's fine. You don't have to write. So in my previous batch, we were writing the verses. I was checking every single matra as well. So it's a very, very easy Ghanshyam Prabhu has made. So please take full benefit of it and submit your assignments and prepare for the exam for 11th of December, Sunday. If you are definitely not available, please call me and we'll try to make arrangements where possible. Huh? Someone is really not available, but it should not be, yeah, I'm just not available. No, please make full attempt. You have to pass the first module to be able to start the second module. Okay, I'll stop here. If you have any more questions, we'll take it definitely in the next class. Samit Prabhu, anything else I have missed out?
No, Prabhu, that was the only thing.
Okay. Okay, so let's stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad ki jai, Damodar Mas ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.